Any further speakers? In that case, I'll just speak very briefly. Just want to touch on a couple of subjects. Back in 1996, the region redistributed the wards, the seats, and it didn't make one iota of difference whether it was a ward system or a general vote system. It happened. This time I think we need to work with some of the other municipalities that could also lose seats. That's Pickering and that's the North. And I think if we work together we can make sure we preserve Oshawa's representation. I think there's been a number of statements made that in some ways I think are quite preposterous, that we're losing democracy. No, we put it out to a referendum question, and I don't care whether you supported the referendum or you didn't, we got an answer. And by the way, it's not up to the City of Oshawa to organize yes and no camps. We've held referendums in the past, and we've had citizen groups coalesce, putting together yes and no campaigns. But there's something fundamentally flawed if the city was to produce the information. Just like I mentioned earlier, I wouldn't want the Quebec government I wouldn't want to rely on the Quebec government to give me information on a yes or no campaign in that province. And neither is it our role to do that. It's up to the groups to coalesce, fundraise, and put out the information if you feel that should happen. In fact, you know, there was 2 public meetings on this whole question. We had 2 people show up. That was the grand sum of the number of people that actually showed up on the topic. Hence, the question was put on the ballot. Another myth that we need to dispel: that question had to be approved by the minister, and it was. So there you go. We asked the question, we got the answer. I think it's incumbent upon us to heed the result. I am mayor. I get elected in a general vote system. It means that when I get a call from the north part of Oshawa dealing with agricultural issues, or property standard issues, I've got to respond to that person as equally as I have to respond to anyone else in the city. Because make no mistake, ladies and gentlemen, I get constituency calls too. And as a matter of policy, we respond very quickly to those issues when they come to the mayor's office. So it just means that there's a change of attitude. Your constituency grows. Your representation grows. And it can be done. It's quite simple. Now, I think there's been a level of rhetoric on this subject that I don't think has actually helped the topic at all. When I've read some of the blogs, quite frankly, it's nonsense that some of the stuff that's being generated. And I think it's incumbent upon us to understand that there's not necessarily a bad system and a good system. It's different. My comfort level has always been with a ward system, but that's not what the people said. So I think we are obligated now to proceed, to heed the referendum results, and that's the way it should go. And perhaps some years hence, there will be a move afoot to put a question on the ballot and ask the people again. But in the meantime, I think we're obligated. We need to implement this change, and to each member of council. It just means that, from here on in, your constituency has just grown, the issues have grown, and I think we as a council are going to be better for it. A recorded vote has been requested, Madam Clerk.
Councillor Lucic?
No.
Councillor Marin-Pietri?
Yes.
Councillor Neal?
No.
Councillor Nicholson?
No.
Councillor Parks?
Yes.
Councillor Pitterbecky?
Yes.
Councillor Scholger?
Yes.
Councillor Cullen?
No.
Mayor Gray?
Yes?
Councillor Henry?
Yes.
Councillor Clodsey?
Yes.
7 affirmative, 4 negative.
That motion carries.